Hey, and good morning everybody out there in Chicago listening land. This is Michael James. I'm here with Thom Clark and Katy Hogan, and we're getting ready for, we are ready for the edition of Live from the Heartland this morning. We've got Flint Taylor from the People's Law Office talking to us about his new book, The Torture Machine. And we have Dave Kelly. He's going to talk to us about reconciliation. So, stay tuned for the next hour here on WLUW 887, Chicago Sound Alliance. We got some inspiring conversation coming your way.
Yeehaw!
We have a new mayor.
We have a new mayor. Huzzah, huzzah.
And she seemed to wow people with that speech, if a little long.
It was a good speech.
Lots of promises.
Yes, yes, yes.
And based on a story in the paper this morning, she may well have the votes for that city council reorganization she's been talking about.
It's kind of exciting.
That would be great.
I'd really like to see Scott Wagesbeck in charge of
I'll bet
finances.
she has the votes. I have a feeling that there's like a lot of enthusiasm around her, kind of emanating from different places in the city. While there are some skeptics, I'm sure, maybe certain people in the council, she has a lot of goodwill, and I think she's got the tenacity and the wherewithal to really take a stand and make a difference. That's my hope.
I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm old enough to remember how long it took for the last enthusiastic person, female mayor, to get turned. It was about 6 months. I have better expectations for the new mayor, and we'll see what happens. Very, very encouraged with some of her first appointments. Somewhat controversially, she has held over some people, like the school superintendent and the police superintendent. But I'm very impressed with the equity office she has set up, with a top-notch appointment. And the new housing department, literally a new housing department, it was revived by Ron, but the new commissioner has come from very storied roots at the Metropolitan Planning Council. Marissa Navarra authored and coordinated their long study about the cost of segregation, and she's coming into the housing department wanting to do more affordable housing.
And I understand Alderman Harry Osterman, another guest on our show, is taking over the housing committee.
Exactly.
All right.
From our former alderman who didn't do a lot with it. Let's hope, Harry, you do more. Thank you.
We'll check in on you, Harry.
Yeah. What else we got going on here?
We got lots.
Well, this is all in the backdrop with our new mayor of yet another report that the census is showing Chicago to be yet again a little smaller, although we're still the third largest city in the country. The African American population in particular has been really fleeing, some people say, looking for better, safer neighborhoods, others say. But it is a troubling statistic, I think, when so much else about the city is booming. But you know, if you don't invest in the west and the south side, maybe that finally catches up with you.
There is some talk that some of the media coverage about the ongoing shootings and the problems is one of the factors that also encourages people moving out. I'm wondering, do they move, do people, African Americans leaving the city, move to the suburbs? Do some of them go back south? I would encourage people to turn around and come on back to Chicago. We're ready for as many people as possible trying to make a big difference in this town.
So, and state-wise, JB's agenda is a little uncertain and not well enough known by the public at this point in time. We've got these ads for fair tax. What does that mean to people? People just see the word tax and get hives. So JP's got to do a better job of publicizing what the heck he's talking about, or his minions.
Well, it is on TV all the time, these ads about a graduated income. I mean, I don't know who watches TV.
Does it instruct you on what the details of that fair tax are?
Well, it basically says that it's going to be in the legislature, it's going to the people to vote. That's the hope.
Okay, so I think our partner Thom Clark is questioning whether Mike Madigan is
messing with the process?
Well, up until last night, it was hung up in the House. The Senate had passed the graduated income tax, but it just wasn't getting through the House, which has a supermajority of Democrats, controlled by a super powerful speaker that's helped most of them get into office with his campaign donations. But overnight, they apparently settled, and there is going to be going forward to the governor's desk a constitutional amendment on a graduated tax. There's some other pieces that still have to be figured out, like there's no budget. They're going to work Memorial Day because they have a few other pieces of business. The cannabis bill is really up in the air. some critical components we know our state rep Kelly Cassidy thought were essential: expungement of victims of the war on drugs.
Let's
and
hope. That's the only way
allowing
it
for
should
home
go through.
grow. Are right now threatened because of opposition or things that folks that don't think we're rushing to cannabis legalization feel that they can kind of force us to hold back because they don't want to do the whole package. So he has some work to do in the remaining 4 or 5 days.
And people out there, get to know who your state rep is, please, your state senator. Let's stop this ignorance about the people who are on the front lines down there in Springfield. It doesn't serve us. Moving to the larger issues in D.C., we have a government, so to speak, in quotes, that decided, I should say administration in quotes, to halt the Harriet Tubman $20 bill. Ah, how true to form.
Well, it was a campaign promise, apparently.
Along
It's just
with,
that the administrative process was supposed to have it done in the next year or two, and they put it off for 8 years.
so that's a really important thing to do while you're trying to sell arms to the Saudis.
Or build walls in the southern border because of a crisis.
So the only women on bills are on actual coins, right? Susan B. Anthony,
Have
Pocahontas.
you seen a Susan B. Anthony thing?
Coin? I've seen coins.
I
That's
know,
all I'm saying.
lately.
Yeah, because I go
You
out,
collect
I get dollars so I can give them out to people who are panhandling.
Yeah.
And I, you know,
And
I
you
like,
also have to always say,
different
"That's
presidents,
a dollar, not a
Pocahontas."
quarter.
I always tell them it's $1.
I know.
Well, the government by temper tantrum just, I don't think, is the way we want our fragile republic to be.
Yeah, and I think he's
I
met his
thought he
match in Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, you don't think he was calm? You don't think, I mean, she says that he had it set up ahead of time. The mics were all ready when he walked outside. You think
When
he
you
would
have to
do
bring
something like that?
such
Yeah.
stellar sources like Kelly and Conway and Miss Sanders to verify that you were calm, I think you're in trouble. I think you're in trouble. They are such voracious sources, you know.
So our heads are exploding over the buildup of a war war in Iran, with Steve Bannon over in Europe stirring up the quote-unquote populists of the right wing, and we've got a guy in, I was trying to look up his name, but I can't get online here. There's an op-ed in the New York Times today written by a guy who worked for Powell, Secretary of State Colin Powell. He said, I was part of the BS that led to the Iraq War. I won't be part of this one. And he goes on to say, chapter and verse. Please check it out. It's in New York Times today. Let's
like
not start another flipping war, America.
Sounds like another No More Lies sort of rant.
Yeah, crazy. Let's get local. Come on. We got a spring migration bird walk at Lyon today, 10 a.m., right at the end of our show. That's at Tui in the Lake. The other thing I want to point out is that Tui in the Lake is experiencing this wonderful planting, which some people are up in arms about. I urge you to wait till you see the results. If you say, I'm losing my beach, I'm urging you to look to the right about 20 yards and see a beach that lasts for, I don't know, about 5 blocks. Is that enough for you people? Okay, because part of what we're trying to do here is offset the human toll taken on nature and replace it.
So that they're building new dunes at by Lyon Beach?
Well, that's been going on for a while. No, what they're doing at Lyon is planting what is going to be kind of a magical forest in about 5 or 10 years.
Get that, a magical forest in the 49th Ward. I love it. Let's go hang out in a magical forest.
So everybody chill out on the reactive stuff until you see what it
My
actually
kid picked
is.
a college based on hanging out in the rainforest so they could smoke weed.
That's a very interesting segue, Michael.
I just thought I'd throw it in, I'm sorry.
I don't know. Speaking of Michael, he's got a photo exhibit up at the Electric Jungle, 1768 West Jarvis. It's going to be up through June, and we'll let you know when the closing takes place.
This upcoming Friday on May 31st, the 4 Degrees opening at the P.O. Box Collective, 6900 North Glenwood, will be taking place. And please mark your calendars for the June 4th Network 49 membership meeting, where we'll be welcoming our new Alderwoman, Maria Haddon. And the next day, the Future of the Heartland Cafe site development, public meeting at Loyola Park at 7 p.m. So Loyola Park is going to be the place to be the next week or two, and please check out these important community meetings.
You're listening to Live from the Heartland, WLUW 88.7 FM and WLUW.org.
Worldwide.